The Regenerating Troll. Possibly the only monster you will ever need. Are you finding that trolls aren't that
giant of a monster
that you had hoped for? Everyone knows how to kill them. That itsy bitsy teensy weensy spark of fire acid damage, and your encounter is down.
And done.
This poor guy has no armor, no weapons, nothing to throw, just kinda walking into combat without a plan. Your players total this bag of hit points as they meet it, ending it with a mere scald from their big lighter and
done.
You might ask yourself, does everyone know about this simple trick with a fire flourish finish? The one that all doctors hate? Imagine a world where the children's stories, brave and powerful trolls, held off by a simple torch, or how acid-mouthed great worms can bite a troll in half and the parts just stay there on the ground, unmoving forever. In such a world, especially one with magical divination, common folk have 24-hour hotline access to any and all God's advice. You don't even have to Google yourself. When you find players simply have too much knowledge and power, challenges simply aren't challenging. Rather than grinding down characters, why not buff up monsters like this one? Make them fun, interesting, and reasonable in as many ways as you can. Don't just add hit points and increase resistances. Let your trolls take full advantage of the powers they already have. Let's take a closer look at this main trait of regeneration. Just what is it anyways? In our world, regenerating creatures grow more than just nails and hair. Fully living parts of these animals come back in their entirety, like a crab's claws or a deer's antlers. Many of these plants and beasts go on to live for an extensive period of time, and often come back in mint condition after extreme damage. When the natural goes supernatural, this regeneration becomes a magical, life-everlasting giving thing. Here are some rules on the magical troll's raw regrowth. For starters, if sushi shredded, all the parts can snap back together, much like patent-holding Lego. This reassembly and any other function seems to happen without any conscious effort on the part of the central troll. For example, if the head is bent, folded, and mutilated, it continues to function just fine. This regrowth gives back 10 hit points per round on the start of every one of their turns. What's that like? Imagine the equivalent of 2 or 3 ordinary common folk slashed to pieces. This amount of damage would be gone under 6 seconds. Nary a scratch on your troll. With a mere hour's rest, all missing body parts regrow. Take that, Wolverine or Deadpool. When this happens, somehow any wandering parts still out there self-terminate. They just wither up and die. We don't know really how that works, but more on this later. This rapid regrowth healing is applied to all troll parts, no matter how big or small, and no matter where they are. It's not clear how much troll you need if you want to make a troll copy. What's more fun than one troll?
How about another troll?
In the most recent versions of trolls, we can heal up any type of damage. You can even heal up fire and acid damage. This process grinds to a halt. It hesitates for 6 seconds immediately after any fire or acid burn, no matter how small. This means, as long as your troll doesn't fall into lava or get eaten by a purpular wormy, your trolls never have to die. This is a forever friendship. The troll is constantly growing and regrowing, shaping and reshaping, forming and reforming, or as the game says,
what the troll has done and what has been done to it.
This lasts, leaving a permanent impression upon the troll, stuff that impacts the troll, what the troll eats, and how the troll shapes itself voluntarily. Each of these things can work into your playable game. Rhyming couplet time. Just how does one rest when one feels unwhole? How many wet bits does one need to re-troll? How do troll bits fathom who's where and why? Why do bits give up, knowing when to die? We need to give trolls power in this self-healing dance. Grim tales, give your monsters that magic fighting chance. Did that work, or am I just trolling you? Leave a comment below. We get more than just regeneration with the troll. There is this optional trait of loathsome limbs. If your players get to use such optional rules as feats or magic items, why don't you give your troll the optional rules of loathsome limbs and take them as far as you can stretch them? Go beyond Stretch Armstrong and Gumby toys. Make sure that the sum of their parts is greater than the whole. First of all, these parts, they can be detached on a 15-point chop. Picture the Thing from Addams Family franchise. Troll bits of any size are weirdly smart and ambulatory. 2. Get ahead with your troll. reach out and touch somebody. Here's a quote from the book.
On this roll, the head is decapitated, but the troll dies only if it cannot regenerate. If it dies, so does the severed head.
This seems pretty vague, and I misquoted the quote. How does the head know when to die? How does this information get sent? Is this via Bluetooth, email, or text? Carrier pigeon? Does this radio work if parts go on to other planes of existence, such as extra-dimensional portals, or even hell, or limbo? Just how good is this Wi-Fi? Can one share a provider and connect with other trolls? Why or why not? Let's go on to 3. 3 remote control parts. An end to your fun? Not even remotely. Each part is its own sentient mobile item, no matter how small, and with Bluetooth, apparently. Imagine an eyeball spy rolling about a tavern under the floorboards, avoiding local rats, sending information live to a troll hiding outside. Pirate troll with one eye. Arr! A giant-sized intestine guts snake thing that strangles people, player characters hopefully, in their sleep. With the troll waiting outside, pirate troll, arr! Can these parts be reassembled outside the troll's main body to construct something new? Like Meccano or Tinker Toy. Rip off that eye, or stick it into a hand and rip off the hand. Send them both out on their own. Or take legs, keep regrowing legs, and put 4 legs and glue them onto a table. What have you got? A 4-legged table. Can one put a full mouth onto a foot for a kick-ass bite? I have to admit it, I just have way too many ideas for what you can do with trolls. Up next, I'm going to sum up 7 different sort of suggestion idea compilations for what you can do in your world with your trolls with this uprising monster that's, a lot like bread. If you find you just can't do this, or you find it somehow daunting, have no fear. I will not abandon you. I will get you a video for each and every suggestion coming up. I'm going to go through 7 of them. Once I've done all those videos, I'll be totally sick of trolls and I'll move on to a different monster. All right? Number 1. If troll parts and organs are like Mr. Potato Heady Toy, what kind of extra things would it rebuild? Either on itself or on separate units. What parts would it have wander free, and what can they do? What parts could these combine? What sort of twisted experiment abominations would lurk in your world? Cue mad laughter here. 2. In Mordenkainen's mostly malicious monsters, trolls can be dire-sized, larger than life, thanks to influence from their environment, setting, and climate. What other long-term impact changes could you put on your troll? Put them underground, put them in the water, put them in the trees? All of this and more. Which leads us to 3. What would a troll even do with these infinite resource parts and components? What could it make out of bone, or leather, or parchment, out of any other kind of troll juice or sinew or stuff? Which leads us to number 4. If a troll had these kinds of materials, what would they make for themselves as far as tools, weapons, and supplies? And what would it do with these things in combat? Number 5. If trolls and legends had bridges, especially when dealing with billy goats, how would the troll get these bridges? Let's assume they make them themselves. How would they do it? Where would they make them? How would they interact in and around these bridges? And what would that be like in combat? Number 6. In myth, legend, and lore, a troll turns to stone in the sunlight, a lot like their kind of weird relationship with fire and burns. How could the game master make this fun, interesting, and playable, and even explosive? For number 7, I would like to tell you all about the blood shaman, how it takes a whole bunch of these different components and becomes its own awesome magic-using, potion brewing creation. And that's it, folks. I've got to get busy making all of these different videos, and I'll keep making reference to this one. This is goodbye. 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 Goodbye.